Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Gnomebot Studios. Welcome and thanks for stopping by. Hope everything is going well for you. Today I thought I would do a video on character creation for Grit Fantasy RPG. This is something that I've had on my to-do list for a while now, so it's good to get to this and should be fun. So I'm going to, what you see on the display here is on the left side, I've got the PDF pulled up for Grit Fantasy RPG. And on the right side, I've got Roll20. I'm going to be doing the character sheets in Roll20 just to show you. I figured that was probably the best way to display the characters. I also have a character sheet just to show you. This is like the standard character sheet that comes with the book if you purchase it. This I will not be using because I do not have this set up in Roll20 yet. So the Roll20 character sheets are very basic, but you'll get the idea. So I have plans to do, let's see, 3 characters today. One is going to be just like a standard build without much of any rolling. Second one's going to be like a hybrid where I'm going to choose some things and roll for other things. The third one is going to be just a quick build, just to give you an idea of how these things go. So let's begin with the first one. I have chosen my lineage, but I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Just going to set up this character sheet here so it's easy to see. Okay. And I'm going to scroll through here. This is the characters section. On page 21 it starts. So create your hero. There's 6 steps, and it goes very quickly. It's very easy, very intuitive. So the first one is select your lineage. So you have the option to roll a d12. I have just selected the Hoblin. So I'm going to put my name in here. Haven't picked out a character name yet, but just going to type in Hoblin here. Let's see. Each lineage that you choose has its own ability. So I'm just going to scroll to the Hoblin here. There's 12 of them to choose from. So Hoblin, you've got 4 tags that come with these. These are not mechanical. It's just more of a flavor narrative type thing. So Hoblins are lively, mischievous, sly, and resourceful. Their ability is Sneaky Save. And what that allows you to do is when you roll a natural 1 while making an aspect roll, you may re-roll it and keep the result. I'm just going to abbreviate. Okay, so that ability never goes away. It can't be taken away from you. It's just part of the Hoblin lineage. Another part of this is that each lineage has a description. So Hoblins have stubby, round bodies with long, gangly arms and legs. Noted for their bright skin tones, pointy ears, and expressive features, Hoblins give off an amusing, if not comical, appearance. They hate being confused with goblins, even though they share a similar propensity for mischief. So they're little mischievous guys. All right, the next step, step 2, allocate aspect points. Sorry. There are 5 aspects. You have, move the character sheet here. You have might, which is your raw physical strength, used for melee attacks and breaking, pushing things, lifting stuff. Prowess, which is your refined physical ability, such as firing and throwing ranged weapons, jumping, swimming, climbing, dodging, and stealth. Valor is your mental and physical resilience, which is basically your constitution. Insight is your perception, sensory awareness, tracking and foraging, also using gadgets. Command is your social competency, so acting, charm, intimidation, deception, wearing disguises, also using instruments, scrolls, wands, and like magic shards and stuff like that. So what you do with character creation here is you start with your strong aspects. So you have a +4 value that you can allocate between your stats, or your aspects rather. And the value cannot exceed +3 for one of those. So I can't like load up might +4. +3 is the max. So since this guy is sneaky, I think I'm going to give him a high prowess. I'm going to give him +2 prowess. I'm going to give him also a +1 insight and +1 command. Because maybe he might want to do some lying and deceiving and stuff like that. Now the second step in this is you have to allocate your weak aspects. So you have whatever is left that does not have a positive value, you have to allocate a total of -2 to those aspects. So it'll be either a -1 between two aspects and a -2 to 1. So I'm just going to say he's not a very strong guy. So I'm going to say -2 might. That leaves valor. I'm just going to put a 0 in valor. So his total for his aspects is going to be might -2, prowess +2, valor 0, insight +1, and command +1. So anytime you make a roll in this game with this character, I roll a d12 and add those aspects, whatever the action is that is related to those aspects, or a single aspect, you add that aspect to the roll. So for instance, if I wanted to dodge an attack, I would roll d12 and add my prowess roll, which would be d12 +2. So very simple, quick and easy. In the character section here on the left, there's an example character as well on the upper part of this. Below that is the quick build. I will go over that later, but you have the option to just pick a quick build setup. So I could have just went in here and picked the one for Hoblin, but I will do that in another example. All right, step 3, select a unique gear item. There are 20 of these to choose from. You can, if you wanted to, roll a d20 and just randomly get one. But I think I'm going to, since I'm not going to roll anything on this guy, I'm going to choose Coat of Blades. So that's number 5. Coat of Blades. And what that is basically it's a clever, indestructible coat that holds and conceals an unlimited number of throwing knives. It is either stylish or intimidating, your choice. These are thrown weapons, so they will go short range. Again, I'm just gonna, kind of make this, minimize the writing here, or typing. Unlimited number of throwing knives. And I'm going to say that this is stylish. Okay, that is the unique item. There are a lot of cool items on there to choose from. They give you good options for creating any type of character. There are not classes in this game, so this kind of gives you a way to sort of customize and make a sort of a semi-class kind of thing with that. Okay, step 4, you have basic gear. So these are just basic gear items. There's 2 lists. You have 4 items to select. If you do a quick build, it's just a 4d20 roll, and you get those 4 items. So since I have my Coat of Blades, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself some light armor. That gives a soak of 1, prowess penalty of -1. So soak reduces damage when you take it, and armor always, most always, unless it's a special item, unique item, or artifact, will reduce the prowess, your prowess value. But we'll cover that later. I think I want to give him a little melee weapon. So I'm going to, because he's a small guy, I'm just going to give him a dagger. And what daggers do is they have the option to either use them for melee or use them as a thrown weapon. So I write melee thrown down there. Okay, so whenever I use this for melee, in melee range, I roll might. He's not going to be great at that, but just in case. If I decide to throw this dagger at somebody, then it's prowess that I roll for, okay? It's not a choice between the two of, you know, it's the choice of how you use them, and then the aspect relates to that. So that'll be all I do on this one, or off of this list. I'm going to go to the other list, which is items and kits. And I think I'm going to give him a climb kit, which requires prowess. And that comes with a grapnel, long rope, not rope, that's not my words, and spikes comes with that. And kits will have a number of items that just are part of that to take up one gear slot. So each of these items is going to take up a gear slot. And let's see, what else do I want to do? Maybe I'll give him a lockpick kit, just for fun. He's going to be more like a thieving kind of guy. That is also, or that is not also, this is an insight item. Mini wrenches, picks, and pliers. All right, those are my 4 items. I am all set with that. We go into the next step, which is step 5. You can see this goes very quickly. Step 5 is just kind of all your stuff, your final things that you need to do. So the first one is focus dice. So obviously I'm not going to do anything with this here, but you know, if you were sitting at the table, basically you'd grab your D4, D6, and D8, place that in front of you. If you have a human character, their ability gives you a different range, so you have D6, D8, D10. But those go in front of you. In the game, in Roll20, I have those dice like shown on the screen. And when they're used, I just pull them off. Okay, so that's focus dice. Grit, I'm going to scroll up here. I've got, you start with 10. That's the max at forever. And I've got 10 in the kind of temporary grit points. So that's your health. I've got soak is the next one. So what I have here, I've got light armor, which gives me a soak of 1. So that means every time I get attacked and damage is applied, I get to reduce that damage by 1. So soak is 1, and prowess penalty is 1. So I'm going to change my +2 prowess to +1. Now, if I were to ever lose that light armor or give it away or whatever, then my prowess would go back up to +2. If that makes sense. Okay, so my new aspect value block is might -1, prowess +1, valor 0, insight +1, and command +1. Last but not least is name and details. I'm gonna just pick, I kind of like this name. I'm just gonna pick Choglin. It's one that's been used before, but it's a fitting name for a hoblin, sneaky, thieving kind of character. And then my details. Basically, this is just a couple details about your character that stand out. This can include anything from attire, physical features, personality quirks, or motivation. You have the option, if you'd like, to roll on the features table below, and also from the quirks on the opposite page, on page 36. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pick these. So I'm going to put, I've got the details at the very bottom of my character sheet. I'm going to pick, let's see, I'm going to say exceptionally small. If I can spell that correctly. Man. Okay, exceptionally small. And I'm going to do a quirk too. Let's just say that I'm fascinated by artifacts. So he's exceptionally small and he's fascinated by artifacts. He has a coat of blades, which is stylish. Climb kit, lockpick kit. So he's a thieving kind of guy, you know. Choglin is a thief. And there's Choglin there on the top. Okay, so that's it. If I wanted to, I can add a few more details, you know, on the bottom here. I could just write in a little bit of background. But the idea is not to get too elaborate. Grid is not like, you know, super long campaign type game. It could be run that way, but it's more of one-shots and short campaigns, so you don't need to put a lot here. I'd rather build up the story around that character in gameplay than have all this background that really can't be used or gets in the way of gameplay sometimes. So anyway, I'm not going to go into any details there, but that basically finishes Choglin. And we will get into the second character. And this I'm going to do just a hybrid, a little bit of rolling, a little bit of choice. Just to show you how that goes. Okay, we're going to move this back up here. To select lineage. All right, I'm going to go to my dice roller here. And I'm going to just roll for my lineage. Number 4, Froome. So I've got my little tokens here. These are for my digital token set that I put out. They are on DriveThruRPG. So I'm going to drop my little image in there and put in my details. Lineage is Froome. These guys are just like giant mushrooms walking around. Very fun. One of my favorites, and a lot of playtesting characters were Froome. Okay, so Froome's special ability is Spore Plume. And what that does is, as an action, sacrifice a focus die. All targets in melee range must succeed a hard valor roll or sprint away from you on your next turn. I'm not going to type all that out, save you some time here, but yeah, that's it. As an action, I just sacrifice a focus die, which counts as my use of a focus die. All targets within melee range must make a hard valor roll, or they're going to just run away on their next turn. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to allocate the aspects, I think. I think I'm going to make this guy kind of more like a fighter. I'm going to give him might +2 and valor +1. And yeah, maybe I'll just do valor +2. So might +2, valor +2. That's my 4 points for strong aspects. And I have prowess, insight, and command without a value. So I'm going to add -2 to any one of those, or between any one of those. So I'm going to put a -1 on insight and a -1 on command, and then a 0 on prowess. Okay, so his aspect block is might +1, prowess 0, valor +2, insight -1, command -1. Definitely different than Choglin. Excuse me. So step 3, unique items. I think I'm going to roll for that. Need to roll a d20 here. Come up with a 1. I have Amulet of Illusions. That is a command-based item. It's artifact. So, create a melee radius illusion of your choice within long range. Does not produce sound. Hard insight roll to discern. Lasts d4 rounds. I'm not going to type this all out. But I put a -2 on command. He's not the greatest at it, but maybe he just kind of found this or something. And it might be a clutch thing to use at some point in gameplay. That's what I think is really fun about the randomizing of items. It's like you just get stuck with whatever it is, and you have to kind of figure out cool ways to use the things with what do things with what you have. So I find that interesting. All right, I am going to give this guy, I'm not going to armor him up, but I'm going to give him a shield. Okay, that gives me a soak 1. And I can sacrifice to negate 1 attack. So basically what this does, I have a soak 1. While I'm using this shield, it's always equipped. I can sacrifice this shield to negate 1 attack. So let's say I got attacked by a troll and it was just a massive amount of damage. I can just like sacrifice my shield and the damage does not happen. Of course, you lose the soak because the shield goes away. Now you can only have, I want to say this before, you can only have 1 shield and 1 suit of armor equipped in your inventory at a time, because everything in your inventory is considered to be used at all times or accessible at all times. So you can't have 2 shields, can't have 2 suits of armor. So I'm also going to give him, he's got a shield, so I'm going to give him a longsword. That is a melee weapon. Requires might to use it. And I think I'm going to give him, just do a standard fighter thing, right? Give him a dagger that he can throw. Again, this is might if you used it with melee, and thrown, or prowess if you use it to throw it. And let's see what's on the items and kits for this guy. I think I'm going to take the moonberry juice. And what that is, that's a single-use item because it has SU in brackets. So that means I use it once and it is done. Okay. It is a potion, single-use item, and it instantly heals D4 or grit. Okay. Now I can down this as a free action on my turn, and I can heal D4 grit. So I can down this before I even swing my sword. And that is all my gear. Focus dice we went over, just basically place those ahead in front of me. I've got 10 grit, I've got 1 soak, and there's no prowess penalty for shields, so I don't have to reduce my prowess. And then the last thing is name and details. I think I'm going to give you a little tip here. You can use the NPC builder to help you with stuff for your character, for your background and stuff. Okay, and the NPC builder has a name. On page 54, it has a name table. So I'm going to roll random for that. Number 11, and since there's 6 columns, 11 and 5. Pazzi. We've got Pazzi the Froom. Somehow that's fitting. Okay. Another thing too, that's so great about this NPC builder, is that you also have details, a whole detail list here, just above name, the name table. There's also vocation, demeanor, and condition. I think the vocation demeanor could be helpful, maybe, for kind of setting up your character. We'll do that when we do the all random one. So I'm going to go back up to the character section here. And I'm going to roll for features. So we got 10, D10, D10 and 4. So 4 and a 2. So we got 4, 2, hilarious beard. Okay, we got a giant mushroom dude named Pazzi with a hilarious beard. I like this guy. All right, quirks. I'm going to roll a D20 here, followed by a D4. And I've got distracted by cute creatures. Pretty interesting. So he's kind of a softie. He's got a soft spot to him, right? Seems like a Pazzi would have a soft spot for cute creatures. So anyway, that is Pazzi the Froom. You can see how rapidly these characters can be made. Like, this is the standard character building. This is not quick option. So you're going to have no shortage of, abilities to make characters fast on the fly. That's why I say it's perfectly great for convention games, or if you have a pickup game, you can make characters really quickly. Even sitting down, all together, not even ahead of time, and just getting this, game going quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full quick build for this character, and we will see just how fast I can do this. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do, just so I get the token kind of set up, I'm gonna roll my lineage out. D12. I've got a dwarf. We got a dwarf, and he's going right there. All right. All right, so dwarf's abilities, battle hardened. What that allows me to do is your prowess penalty is 1 less when wearing armor, and your static valor rolls are always easy. So if you're always ever saving against poison or fear or anything like that, it's an easy roll for you, which means you have to beat a 3, which is super easy to do. Okay, so we got that. Let's cruise along here. Just want to show you how quick this can be. Go down to the page 30, the aspect allocation. And you see here on the quick build option, you basically skip steps 1 and 2 where you allocate them yourself, and you basically just pick a lineage, or you pick or get your stats based on the lineage. So what I'm going to do is just copy down what's written down here. So we got a +2 might, we got a 0 prowess, it's basically like Posse here, +2 valor, -2 insight, and a 0 command. Okay, super fast, done. All right, step 3, unique item. I'm gonna roll a d20. This is 10, Fey Forged Mail. That offers me a soak 1 without any prowess penalty. It also reduces acid and fire damage by half. It shimmers with golden flecks of light. All right, that's it. Now with the step 4, we're gonna do basic gear, which is 4d20. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of split these up between the 2 tables. So I'm gonna roll 2d20s for armor and weapons. So 19. Throwing knives. I've got throwing knives and 2. I've got bow and quiver. So this guy's looking like more of an archer, actually. That is also a bow and quiver is also a prowess weapon, and there's no ammunition to take inventory of, so you just have an unlimited supply of arrows. Okay, so I'm moving down to the items and kits. I'm gonna roll 2d20 here, 12 and 14. I've got moonberry juice, popular option. Single use item, heal, d4. And let's see what else, number 14, I've got smoke bombs. These are also single use. I've got 2 of those. And they are prowess based. Thrown, short radius, and obscures for 1 round. Just gonna say 1 round because you kind of get the idea with smoke bombs. All right, that's the 4 items. That's done. We've got Fey Forged Mail, which doesn't have a prowess penalty. Focus dice and grit are no-brainers. Those are already done. So I got a soak of 1. No prowess penalty, so that doesn't need to be adjusted. And then I'm going to roll on my features. So I'm going to roll a 10 and a 4. So 4 and 2. That's too close to Posse. I'm going to redo this. What? No. Okay, 9 and 4. 9. I've got some unique tattoos. Quirks. I'm going to do 20 and D12 or D4. 2 and 1. Whistles when Whistles when sneaking about. Can you picture it? I can. And just for a little fun, we're going to go down to the NPC builder, just to show you how that kind of works. So you can see this character is done like in a few minutes. It was like way faster than the standard build, you know, and I was describing things. So, okay, so I want to kind of find out a little bit more about this guy. It's completely optional. You do not have to do this, but I like to sometimes find out like what was this guy's job before becoming an adventurer, right? So he was a shopkeep. And I'm going to roll the demeanor just to see, maybe it might give me some ideas for how to play this guy. He's brilliant. Perhaps he was stuck in this shop and knew that he was, you know, he had more going on in his life and he needed to hit the road and have some adventure. All right, condition. I'm not going to deal with that. Skip that. That's how these builders work. You can skip things over if you feel you need to. I might as well roll on a detail here. I'm going to roll D20 and D4. 4 and 4. So I've got a twitching eye. Interesting, interesting. And finally, let's get a name for this guy. So I'm going to roll a D12. And I'm going to roll a 6. 9 and 2. Kelrun. Kelrun the Dwarf. All right. That is Kelrun the Dwarf. He is done. Took a little bit extra time to add those little background details, but still very fast build. So in just a matter of a few minutes, really, I've put together 3 characters just to show you that it is easy to make characters for this game. And that doesn't mean they're not fun, because the game is a lot of fun. So there you go. That's just how basically how things go for making a character. Let's see if there's anything else I'd like to cover. I don't think so, really. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad I did this. This was really something, like I said, I wanted to be get out there eventually. And so that just kind of gives you an idea how things work for character creation. And that is it. As always, thanks for stopping by. Happy gaming. Take care of yourselves and roll those dice.